Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we've got a new Wailord to talk about, and I like Wailord. I like having new Wailords to talk about. I like talking about Wailord. I like Wailord cards. I like Wailord generally, and I tell you what, right off the bat, I like this Wailord, and I am not known for my enthusiasm. So Wailord then, the big question we always have, of course, is how much HP is it going to have? And the answer is 200. And 200 is good, 200 is high, 200 isn't phenomenal. The one that came around in Celestial Storm had 220, which was higher. I mean, Great Encounters back near the beginning of the Diamond and Pearl era had a 200 HP Wailord. So I'll be honest with you, we've done better. It's still high. You know, a stage 1 200 HP Pokemon is still ridiculous, phenomenal, over the top. But it's fair to say that for a Wailord, we could do a little bit better. And the good news is we do have a retreat cost of 4 here, which means buff padding is totally on the table, gives you an extra 50 HP, puts you up to 250, which is truly gigantic. Now, the weakness to lightning, it's not particularly good. Pikachu and Zekrom's going to get a fairly easy one-hit KO on here, which we're not loving. Vikavolt, to be fair, Vikavolt's going to get a 2-hit KO if you don't have buff padding. But still, with the amount of HP you've got, and given that Vikavolt will lock your item cards as well, I'm really not loving the weakness here. It really isn't ideal. Maybe the loss of cards like Electro Power will make sure that Lightning decks are not that great post-rotation. As it stands at the moment, Lightning decks are good, and this is a bad weakness to be having. But being a water Pokemon's not too bad. It means you've got access to Capacious Bucket to search out your water energy. It means you've got Frostmoth to attach your water energy. It means you've got Nessa to recover your water energy in Pokemon. That's a new supporter card we looked at the other day that lets you pick up 4 in combination of water energy and water Pokemon, so it's really good in that regard. Plus, you are hitting weakness on all of those Welder decks, including Center Scorch, which is proving to be a very good deck at the moment, and you know what? This is alright. But what does it actually do? Well, according to the lovely Antoine Boulet, where else would we get our translations? Although I want it on the record, I used Google Translate and I totally translated it myself, but there's no way I'm actually doing a video based on that before checking with Antoine, because I'm not stupid, at least not in that way. Whenever you attach a water energy from your hand to Wailord, you remove all special conditions from Wailord. So it doesn't make Wailord immune to special conditions. If burn or poison is put onto Wailord, you will still take that damage after your opponent's turn before you get a chance to remove it. Similarly, if you don't have an energy, you're not able to actually remove it there. You'll just have to sit there and deal with the special conditions. You need to be able to attach an energy in order to get rid of the special conditions. But assuming that you do, you should be looking alright here. Because if you're confused, don't flip to see if it's either the attack works or Tails, you take 30 damage and the attack fails. No. Just attach a water energy and you're fine. If you're paralyzed and unable to attack, just attach a water energy and you're fine. If you're asleep and you flip Tails for sleep, just attach a water energy and you're fine. You will still take a little bit of extra damage from poison and burn, and you do have to have the energy in hand, but bearing in mind we got stuff like Nessa and Capacious Bucket that will really help with this. We got Frostmoth to attach extra energy, which will really help with this. And then, although you're not immune to special conditions, you're not a million miles away, and that makes me rather happy indeed. So, is it going to be annoying attaching all of this energy? Like I'm saying, just attach another energy. Well, surely there's a limit to how much water energy you want to put on Wailord, and the answer is no. No, there isn't. Because you know what? It's got Hydro Pump. It's got that attack that so many water Pokemon before it have had. 4 colorless energy minimum, 10 damage base, plus 40 more for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you attach 4 water energy to Wailord, you'll be doing 170 damage, which isn't phenomenal. 170 for 4 energy. It's actually less than Centiskorch V does, and we're not terribly impressed with Centiskorch V. But it's alright. It's a decent amount of damage. It builds up. And again, in another type of deck, maybe we wouldn't be so excited about this. But the fact of the matter is, you have got Frostmoth, and you've got Nessa, and you've got Capacious Bucket. So in terms of getting your energy back, attaching your energy, etc., it is easier in a water deck than it generally is in any other kind of deck. If this wasn't a water Pokemon, I'd be looking at this and going, yeah, mate, it's too expensive. Unless it may be fire with Welder, I suppose. But I think even then you're pushing it a little bit, because Welder's still only 2 more energy. So you know what? This ain't bad. This is nice. The question is it better than the alternatives? Are there other Pokemon we could use instead? And the answer is, yes, it is better than the alternatives, but it's very expensive. So one of the alternatives here would be the Lapras from Team Up. Lapras from Team Up does 10 damage base, plus 30 more for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So for 4 energy, you're doing 130, but given that Wailord's adding 40 per energy and Lapras is adding 30, this runs out pretty gosh darned quickly. We've got Vaporeon, which is 40 base plus 30. So for 4 energy, you're actually doing 160, which is a tiny bit less. And then it's 30 more per energy rather than 40. And Vaporeon is a 2 price stage 1 with 210 HP. This is a single price Pokemon with 200 HP and a better attack, although I do like Vaporeon's ability that lets you heal 30 from your active water Pokemon. Just mentioning this just while we're here, do bear in mind that you could always, use Vaporeon EX to do a little bit of healing. Vaporeon GX, I should say. It is a little bit sad that Lana's gone away, because Lana would give nice healing to water Pokemon, but it is also worth pointing out that Mallow and Lana is still here, and you've got 200 HP, flick to the bench, heal 120. I mean, it's the kind of thing you're probably going to want to do with a Wailord attack. Starmie does 40 base plus 40 more for each water energy attached to this Pokemon, which will actually be a little bit more, only a little bit, but it will be a little bit more. So with 4 energy on, Starmie's hitting 200, and so it will basically always just do 30 more damage than Wailord. But having said that, again, you're talking a 2 prize Pokemon, and what's kind of interesting about Starmie GX, it actually has less HP than Wailord, despite giving up an extra prize. So my point here is, if you want to do the whole piling energy onto a water Pokemon and smashing, this is your best option. I know Starmie can technically do more damage. I don't like Starmie as much as I like this. I like the extra 10 HP and the immunity from special conditions. I think that's really cool. And clearly, if you're up against something like Centiskorch, you're going to get to the big numbers very, very quickly here. But if you're not, then it's not ideal, if I'm honest with you. Because the issue you end up having is, let's say something like a Pikachu and Zekrom. That's one of the things you want to take down. Well, you're going to need 6 energy. 6 energy will do 240 plus a 10 base is 250. So if you've got 6 energy onto Wailord, you will get a 1-hit KO on Pikachu and Zekrom. But that's 6 energy. Arceus and Dialga and Palkia, you're going to need 7 energy. If you want to get a 1-hit KO on something like an Eternatus with 340 HP, you're going to need 9 energy. 8 would be 320, plus a 10 base is 330, and you'd be 10 damage short. So yes, you can 1-hit KO anything, but you are going to need to really pile the energy on. Now, of course, one thing you could say here is, well, hang on a second, do we need to 1-hit KO? I got 200 HP, I'm immune to special conditions, I give up 1 prize. No, you don't need to 1-hit KO. But the problem is, as much as we've got good options for finding and recovering and attaching our energy, it's still awkward to do it turn after turn after turn after turn, which could end up being the position you're in if too many of your Wailord end up getting KO'd too quickly. So to sum it up then, love the HP, Love the ability. Love that we're doing so much damage here. Better than the alternative water Pokemon, but it is extremely energy hungry, and recovering that turn after turn might end up being too awkward to make it particularly great. Certainly if we put it side by side with a Wailord from Cosmic Eclipse, which is just 4 energy 140, 3 energy 90, with the same HP, I like this an awful lot more than I like that one. So you know what? I'm kind of in on this, ladies and gentlemen. This one's kind of cool. It is worth pointing out very quickly that the Wailmer was also revealed today, and this does 10 damage base plus 20 for each water energy attached to Wailmer, which doesn't get up to those huge numbers, but certainly if you get Frostmoth in the early game but you still don't have your Wailord with which to attack, Wailmer can take some KOs on some of the weaker Pokemon, although it does have 20 less HP than the one from Cosmic Eclipse, so at least until the next rotation it's hard to justify playing it. What I will mention is the artwork is better, and while we're here, check the artwork on this Wailord. This is one of my favourite pieces of artwork I've seen on a Pokemon card in a very long time, and it's not even a Rita artwork. But this is a kind of one where I would love to try and find the original art and have it framed and put on the wall in my studio, because oh my goodness, it's beautiful. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, new Wailord, very exciting. Oh, give it a score, between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. I love this Wailord, but I would be rather interested to know how you feel about it. So let me know in the comments section, would ya? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.